All right, we have a Plat to Namor. Now, if you want to coach yourself, feel free to join the Discord, as well as make sure to
I'm gonna
like
need you to go
and
to capture the
subscribe.
mission area. Got it?
We're going to speed up right here.
Everything apart. I want to be a part of putting it back together. There they are.
All right. Nice to sit on the
Looks like
storm.
mission area is yours to capture now. Capture the mission area!
All right. So far, let's kind of talk about these squids real quick. So I preferably like to see you kind of throw them like maybe right even on this right here. Gives you a little bit more access. You could even push up right here since nobody's really taking the high ground. You could push right up here. You could throw them on the backside right here. Use your Wrath Trident, which is your the extra trident that you get to throw. If anybody doesn't know, it's called the Wrath of the Seven Seas. I call it the Wrath Trident. You can throw that down. Gives these guys a little bit of a boost on damage because they start shooting faster and they'll start shooting whoever you hit with it. So if you use your Wrath Trident, let's say, for example, on the Cloak and Dagger or the Luna Snow right here, which would be a really good idea, then as well as your guys being up on this wall right over here, they're going to start targeting the Luna Snow if you hit the Luna Snow with it, and they'll be damaging her a lot more faster, and it should allow you to get a little bit more of an easier kill. Sorry if I was starting on my words. I just woke up. Okay. All right. Once again, you do have your shield ability, which is your RB. You fly up in the air a little bit, use your shield. Now, probably would have been best, since she did hit you with a shot right there, is to like try your best to just drop. If you can't drop in time, then you can use that ability. Maybe spam that you need healing or anything like that. If you use it like probably right over here, you could back up just right around on this side right here, and it maybe, just maybe, might give your Cloak and Dagger a heads up if you say that you need healing, and she might turn around, she might not, you never know. Especially in the situation, it's a bit of a tough situation because both tanks are pretty low. So I think regardless, probably going to die, unless if you can maybe use your shield right over to here and then drop down like that, and then you're gonna have to figure out a way like to maybe get a little bit of healing, or maybe just try to stall as long as you possibly can until your Cloak and Dagger is able to either heal you or the team fight is probably over. You could also take the long way all the way back over this way and then try to drop right down here, but there's a fairly good chance you're probably not going to survive doing that, just because you were fairly on this side when the Luna Snow dropped over. So that's the reason why I was saying probably best if you went this way. But once again, it would be a nice attempt to go this way, but a little bit more risky, and you're probably going to die. So just keep that in mind. We're going to speed up right here.
I will not be stopped so easily. We must defend this land.
Control seized!
Nice job. Just keep looking for any extra damage. Look for anything that you can possibly do. Maybe even try to rotate right around here. Maybe throw your like squids right up on this wall right over here, or maybe even yeah, probably it's best if you stay right around this area just until your supports get back. So what you could do is just throw your squids right up on this wall right over here. If you can, maybe even try to throw them like a little bit lower. So first off, it'll give you more access to peek for yourself, and as well as if they choose not to even shoot at the squids, then it gives you a little bit more access on top of that to gain some more damage out and maybe get a pick early. Now, normally I wouldn't recommend doing this if you are in, like, let's say GM. I wouldn't recommend like kind of playing a little bit too aggressive, but the reason why is because they're probably already going to be pushed up here, and they're probably going to go and get you, or they're probably going to play really aggressive on you, and they're going to get you killed. But since you are in platinum right now, currently you can take a little bit of advantage on being able to make a little bit more space and look for an early pick. Now, when you're in GM, I'm not saying just sit back the whole entire time and then wait for your team to regroup. You can keep looking for damage. You just got to be a little bit more safe on it. So you'll probably be like playing back here, and the enemy team will probably be positioned like right around in this area right here. So just keep that in mind for once you get in the higher rank, that you're not going to want to push up all the way too close right here, because the enemy team will 100% push you once you're in the higher ranks. Just a little bit of a tip for once you get into that raid.
Refreshing.
Need some help.
Denizens of
I
the
like
deep.
the cold. The only opposite I
As well as once again, or not once again, as well as throwing down your squids. You can only throw down 2 at a time, so you don't want to be throwing down all of your. You don't want to spam all of your cooldowns. See right here, you threw down 3 and only 2 went down because you can only throw down 2 at the same time. As well as once again, you could throw them like on the wall right over here. It gives a little bit better access. You could also maybe even try to rotate right around here. Maybe throw them against the wall right here. Maybe throw them up above right here, like on the roof area right over there, just to give your squids a little bit more access. And then look for your Wraith Trident to get them to target a certain person.
Us against the world.
Feel the wrath of the goddess.
Nice job staying by the health pack, and nice job getting that kill.
Nice yellow awakens. You never had a chance.
Okay.
The missionary.
Not the biggest fan of that alt. And the reason why I say I'm not the biggest fan of that alt is because, I mean, well, it's a 3v1. Your health is fairly low, and you use the jump pad right there. So now you're probably guaranteed to die. Your best bet was probably just sit back a little bit, play back, and just wait for your team to regroup. Now, as well as I would like to see you kind of play like a little bit more up forward, because the further away you are, the less you're probably going to hit your shots. So you sitting back here like entirely, you were able to get 1 kill, but you need to look for more kills. So preferably you could kind of like push up maybe a little bit more closer, like right over in here. You could possibly even push up like right over here if you're confident that you can take the high ground, you'll be able to get away with it. You might be able to push up like right over into here. But preferably though, I would like to see you play a little bit closer, but not too close.
Yeah. Keep
But just not that far. I wouldn't really like to see you play too far back like how you were playing right over here, because you're not going to hit as many of your shots.
How refreshing. The foul beasts died as traitors to my kingdom. I am Groot.
Nice.
the grand finale.
Very good use right there.
The area.
As well as right here, you could even push down right over into this area right here and use this as cover so you can look for more damage. You can rotate like maybe right even over here. You can rotate like right here even would work, and throw down your squids right over here. Look for your Wraith. Look for your not your Wraith, your Wrath Trident. Look for a shot that you can get off. So for example, you can get it off on the Storm. I don't know why I couldn't remember a name. The Luna Snow, especially. You need to look for any sort of pick that you possibly can. Now I know you have been in a 1v1 with the Psylocke quite a bit,
I'm ready to put on a show.
but you do need to push up a little bit more further,
I am
because you're not getting a maximum amount of value by sitting back here, because you're only hitting like maybe 1 out of like 4 tridents, maybe 1 out of 5 tridents.
creatures heed
So just keep that in mind.
a nice deep freeze.
A nice ally awakens. By the eye of Agamotto.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point. Control C.
Healing power.
Hey. If you're going to be able to touch. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. Not really a whole lot you could have done right there, just because you did need the healing. Probably could try to go for the heal right here. Why am I moving so slow? What did I do? Okay. I don't know why I'm moving so slow. Let me... Okay. Oh, it might have been because of the game being over. Let me go back a little bit. All right. So let's pay attention to exactly what you probably could have done. So, a bit of a tough situation because you don't really have much of anything that you can do. I mean, your best bet is probably trying to grab this health pot right here, or this health right here. Maybe try to drop down here, grab the health right there, and then try to use your guard ability just so you can be able to last long enough. And then when you're at, like, let's say 97, 98%, then you drop just so you can touch point. Now, I know there's probably a 99% chance you're going to die, but you have to touch. You don't have a choice because you're the only one left. So the only decision that you really have right here is to touch. Now, you did go back and grab that health pack, and that wasn't a bad idea. But once again, you didn't really have much of a choice. You need the touch. So all you got to do is right now, hide, maybe wait till this health pack is done right there. You get that, you drop right down here, you get that, and then you use your shield right over here. You slowly move over, and then right about now would be a perfect time to drop, touch point. Now, are you going to die? Yes, but preferably you want to die rather than your Luna Snow. And that's just because of the situation. Like, you need more supports. The team that you're playing with can afford to lose 1 DPS, but they can't really afford to lose a support in the last fight. Now, regardless, would it have been winnable? The answer is probably not, but the attempt is what matters the most. Like, you might have been able to slightly turn around that if you're able to touch. Now, I know the Star-Lord could have been able to touch, but the Star-Lord decided that he's going to stay back and sit back all the way over here, so you can't really trust your team to touch, especially in this rank. Now, maybe once you get into like GM and everything like that, GM, Celestial, then you can start trusting your team to touch. But currently right now, though, 9 out of 10 times, your team probably isn't going to touch in Diamond or Platinum. Okay, let's speed up.
Somewhere in the... I am a mute. I am a mutant.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
All right. Once again, squids probably could have been thrown up on this high ground right over here. Look how much access it has compared to it being right over here. If it has right over here, this squid has access to, probably wouldn't be able to hit that because it's probably going to hit the ledge. So your squid really only has access to like right here on what's on the high ground and everything like that, rather than it being able to have access to pretty much almost anything right over here, especially the two people who are on point. Nice kill on the storm.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. We captured the mission area!
But he did, guys did cap. Okay, I was gonna say, if he ulted that, I would have been very disappointed.
The goddess!
Cleanse this place. Attack them.
I'm cursed.
Us against the world!
Nice use. Make sure you're asking for healing too. Good thing your team was able to heal you there, but make sure you are asking for healing if you're in a situation like that. Now, personally, right here, I don't mind you throwing it down right there. Now, you probably could throw it like right over into this area right here. Gives a little bit better access, but you don't really have much of a choice on certain areas to throw it because you can't really throw it right here because it's going to just not affect you positively. This is the first time where like it's entirely fine to throw it on the ground, as well as you can use it as like more of a body block too. So, for example, in the situation that you're in right now, you could straight up just use this as a body block, and like a certain amount of hits, I can guarantee you're probably going to go into the squid, and it could possibly even save your life. Although I am confident that you probably could have been able to take that 1v1 and win against the Psylocke right there. It is good that you did kind of like rotate up to the high ground. I'll give you credit for that as well, because you did have the right idea. But once again, though, I'm like fairly confident you probably would have won that one 1v1 against the Psylocke, because I mean I saw how you and that Psylocke have 1v1 before. I mean you differ almost every time.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
As well as right even here would be a really good spot to throw your squids on. So you throw a squid right here, maybe even like, yeah, just throw them like both, like probably try to get like right up on that edge right here. You throw your squids right there, you're going to be fine. Because, I mean, first off, they're going to be able to protect you from behind. And then second off, they're on top of that going to be able to focus on what's going to be around them, which is more than likely going to be the cloak and dagger, which there's a good chance that you would be able to kill the cloak and dagger right there. As well as, unfortunately, since you didn't take the 1v1 on the Psylocke down here, as well as you could have pinged the Psylocke right there because the Psylocke wasn't backing off, your team would have helped you kill the Psylocke right there, and you probably could have more than likely kept holding on to the point. But unfortunately, since you chose not to take the 1v1 against the Psylocke right there early in the fight, the Psylocke was able to come back and be able to kill you right there, which is unfortunate because you didn't have your ability to, or your shield to protect you, because you did take to the high ground.
My battle has only just
Although I did
begun.
like the idea. Once again, though, probably wasn't the best idea.
Have my own subjects turned against me?
This headshot.
Attack them!
Once again, right here, even, I would love to see you kind of like play a little bit right here and then throw both of your squids right over here, force them out a little bit, and then you can kind of start pushing up a little bit as well, or you can start pushing up a little bit more, because that'll probably force them out a little bit, as well as like even if you could try to possibly throw it like right here, if they're still holding right up on here, then they'll be getting out a lot of free damage. So pay attention to that as well, is that you can be able to throw them up there. And you can play a little bit more aggressively, but just remember that you do got to play safe. But the only reason why I'm saying you can play a little bit more aggressively right there is because you do have a Loki as well as a Captain America with you. So you can kind of push up a little bit more further, play like a little bit more riskier. Try to get your squids out right over here. And then on top of that, if you throw down 2 squids, you'll get one of your squids back pretty fast on the thing, as well as you do have your team up ability with Luna Snow to be able to throw down another one. So once you are able to kind of like break the choke point right over here and push up a little bit, then you could probably throw your squids like right here would be like almost genuine perfect. If you just throw it like even right on this gold spot right here, preferably right over here would be pretty good as well. But you can throw them up on the gold spot because I think the gold spot would be a little bit more safer and you'd probably be able to get a little bit more value. For example, the storm would probably be a pretty easy kill because I'm guaranteeing you, yeah, the Thor is going to go and target her.
I'm ready to put on a show.
Let's go back and watch that real quick.
I am ready to put
Okay.
on a show.
Denizens of the deep. Jeez.
Target the Psylocke. See if you can even get a punch on the Psylocke right there. So in a situation like that, I would even try to punch the Psylocke right there because you know she's probably going to try to get up right in your face and try to go right past you, because that's what Psylocks do. They get out a lot of damage if they slice right past you, kind of like Genji's dash in Overwatch if you have played Overwatch before. So just keep that in mind. Probably could have gotten a pretty free kill on the Psylocke right there. Now, regardless, are you probably dead because of this? Because of the Strange? Yes, definitely. You're like almost guaranteed to die, unless you somehow go ballistic and the Strange like messes up terribly. But you still could have gotten that kill on the Psylocke and maybe helped your team out a little bit more. But now, since that Psylocke's alive, it only benefits their team being able to get that kill on you.
By the eye of Agamotto.
And unfortunately, enemy team was able to cap. Regardless, would they have capped? Yes. But, I mean, once again, you know that Psylocke isn't on your team, right? Did you forget that she was over there?
Denizens
I don't know if you're on your phone or anything like that, but get off your phone. I don't know if you're like so focused on what's going on over there or something like that. That Psylocke walked all the way up here, straight up in your LOS. You did not give a single crap about it. And then she walked off and then walked back up here again. You should have been ready for it. Once again, as well as even when you're peeking right around this corner, you 100% have to be ready for that Psylocke, or not even the Psylocke, any player in general. So be aware of that.
Area. Keep going.
They should have known better than to betray me.
Feel the wrath of the
Us against the world.
Attack them!
Okay, never mind about the squids and you having the ice squid. I was completely looking at the blue team thinking that you were on the blue team. My bad about that. But I guess you can keep that in mind though, that if you do have Luna still on your team, that's what you can do.
The area's
Nice
almost
kill.
covered. Control lost.
Nice cap. Nice shot.
You
Cannot withstand my
Or a
might.
dagger. They've almost got it.
These beasts have come to defend
At least
their
those gross squids are stuck.
Don't really know what happened right there. Okay. Let's kind of talk about your positioning a little bit right here. For example, let's say if the Psylocke dove you, what's really going to go on? You're probably going to try to back up, and by the time you back up in the spot that you're in right now, you're probably going to die, or you're going to probably walk forward, and you'll have to pray that your Cloak and Dagger sees you. Now, you could also, which would be probably the best decision, is like play maybe like right around here, because let's say a Psylocke dives you, nobody's really paying attention, you got the health pack right there, as well as controlling this area right over here can be very, very good.
Tandy needs help.
Very, very good and very, very beneficial.
Denizens of the deep.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Once again, throwing your squids, just make sure you keep throwing them on the high ground. Throwing them on walls and everything like that. As well as you got to be more prepared when it comes to getting your alt off. You don't want to sit there for too long just like looking for a certain alt, because first off, once you get into the higher ranks, it does like a little bit of an animation when you're looking for your alt, so the enemy team will know that you're trying to look for an alt right there. That will benefit them tremendously, especially in the higher ranks when players become a little bit more aware on that, because they will be looking at your character and they'll be like, oh shoot, he's looking for an alt, and then they'll be able to easily counter it. As well as try to be targeting the support like 100%. If you would have targeted the support right there with that, if you were going to ult in this situation, you target the Luna, you kill the Luna while she's at 98%. That's going to be a huge, like a massive stagger, and you're guaranteed the cap.
I am ready to put on a show.
Okay. As well as, I do like the fact that you were able to take that 1v1 and you're able to win it. I've noticed that like a lot of players in this rank, you're able to take 1v1s on. You're playing too scared though. You are playing a little bit way too far back, and I think you're playing just terrified of the situation that you're in. Now, that the situation that you're in right now, you don't want to be playing a little bit too up. You want to back up because you're low, and as well as you should be aware like who's going to be behind you. For example, Shark is going to be behind you, so you'll be able to get your heals, as well as you know that Cloak and Dagger is dead currently. Thankfully, you did have your get out ability, but preferably you're going to want to either use that a lot sooner, or you're going to want to back up, because once again, once you get into that higher rank, I'm preparing you for the higher ranks right here. They're going to take advantage, and they're going to kill you faster. You're going to have less time to make decisions. And the less times you make decisions, you got to react like faster, or you have to make decisions faster, because they're not going to allow you to take like 3 seconds or 4 seconds to make decisions. They're going to let you have like half a second to make a decision. job. You have a bunch of bubbles right here, so you can play a little bit more aggressive.
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
You'll have to keep playing until we have a winner.
Nice. Getting the cloak and dagger roll, as well as what would be perfect is if you were to throw them like maybe right over on this spot right here, because that gives you a whole access of the thing. Your squids, once again, throw them right up here.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Unfortunate, but I believe it's still winnable. Yeah.
Control lost.
Not myself.
I do like the fact that you did try to touch there. That was good, but unlike the first round, like it was pretty obvious that your team did have it or had the point at that current moment. So if your team does have the point at like that current moment, you can kind of back up a little bit or anything like that. You can back up, look for a little bit more space, and have like a little bit more LOS, because kind of getting straight up in their face like that makes you a pretty easy target and a pretty easy kill. So in a situation like that, you can back up a little bit and play a little bit more around cover and everything like that. Like right over here would be fine, because you at least have that as a little bit cover. And on top of that, you could possibly even throw a squid right up here and use that as like a very, very good amount of cover. You could even throw both squids right here. This would be a really good time to throw your squids down, so you can use it as cover a little bit more, because you have this part right here protecting the bottom half, and then the squids up here would be protecting the higher
Like the tide,
half of you.
Namor always rises again.
Nice, your team was able to cap.
Mutant. Somewhere in the world is a little girl like I once was. I fight.
The tide.
Beat up right here. There we go.
All fall before Namor.
The darkness.
Heads up. Invaders from the deep. Attack them. Cleanse this place.
Once again, not a bad spot to place your squids, but I'd like to see you kind of maybe even throw it like right up on this high ground right here. Or you can even throw it on this tree. Throwing it up on this tree works as well. Gonna make it less, they're gonna be less likely to be targeted if you throw them like more up on a high ground or anything like that. As well as if they do want to target that, they're gonna have to do their whole focus on somewhere else and then go back over to you, instead of just being able to shoot in a straight line, shoot the squids, and then right past the squids they're gonna be able to hit you as soon as the squid dies.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Us against the world. Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
You're quite welcome.
Capture the mission area.
What unusual beasts Midgard has.
Yes. One down.
The denizens of the deep. Drown them.
Okay, not really a whole lot to say.
Typical airborne.
Nice kill.
How refreshing.
As well as make sure you lower your dead zones on your controller, because I do notice that's kind of messing you up a little bit. So like you can see as my dead zones right here, the second I slightly move it, you can see them instantly moving, just like that. And then you start moving, and then I get to the fast part and just everything like that. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to have your dead zones as low as possible, to the point where you're not getting stick drift. So you can, like, for example, right here, I'm just barely moving my controller and I can move my screen. Now, with the original dead zone that Marvel Rivals gives you, instead of me being able to do this straight off the bat, it's going to be more like this, where I'm going to start pressing on my controller now. Now, I'm pressing on my controller, still pressing on my controller, just barely slightly, and then it goes like this instantly. You don't even get that slight movement like that. You just instantly go like to this. And that's a big mistake that a lot of people on console do, is they don't change their dead zones straight off from the bat as soon as they get into a new game. That's one of the things that you really want to focus on, is look for performance. You want to change your quality to, or you want to change your like focus graphics, not on quality or balance. You want to keep it on performance, because it makes sure you can do a lot more and it gives you higher FPS, as well as you want to change your dead zones. That's something that's going to be really important and something that's way overlooked 90% out of like 90% of players.
Wash our foes away. Attack them. I am Asgard's might.
I am ready to put on a show.
Not myself, Fury.
Once again, make sure you have a really good target. That was a really good ult right there, actually. But I feel like you didn't really have like much of a target in your mind, and I think you just randomly threw it down. Now overall, you might have actually had a target this time, because I mean, you hit 4 players with it, and it was absolutely nasty. But your first 2 ults though were not the greatest, because I feel like you didn't really have much of a reason for a target right there. I think you just threw it down in a certain area. Now, maybe you did it this time and you managed to get lucky and managed to drop all of them, or maybe that was actually calculated right there and you knew who you're going to be targeting. But once again, they're all on the very like far outside, so there's a good chance that they all could have gotten out of that. But once again, though, very nice ult. That was a very nice ult. But your first few ults that I have noticed is you just randomly throw it down. You don't really have a person that you target. So just keep that in mind.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
And once again, right here, you did have a little bit of a choice, since you did kind of drop off that high ground. It does badly affect you a little bit. Now, if you want to get back into the fight as soon as possible, you can, like, preferably what I would probably do if I fell off of this high ground right here and it's a really close match, I'm going to take the risk and I am going to 100% flap onto this high ground right here, and then I'm going to be focusing on looking for any picks right up here, throw my squids maybe like right over here in this area, and then use my wrath on, like, let's say for example the Wolverine. I use it on the Wolverine. Wolverine's going to get a lot of damage taken to him if I hit him with the wrath or with the Wraith Trident, as well as you do have this nice high ground right here. It's pretty close and personal, as well as you can walk back a little bit and you'll be protected yourself. The only person you really have to worry about being up on this high ground is probably Strange and Psylocke. I'd say preferably Psylocke, because Psylocke is only targeting the people, or the, not the people, targeting the Loki right over here, and she's close enough. And I think the Strange is so focused on what's going on over here, I don't think he's really gonna focus you. Nice kill.
That is much better. I from the seas. Denizens of the deep.
Yeah, unfortunately, that tiny little bit of time that you took to walk right around here let them cap. Now, there is a very good chance that they would have capped even if you went up onto the side ground right here, but you need to get that damage output as much as you possibly can in that certain situation right there, because the fight was not in your favor, first off, and then second off, like, I mean, pretty much the fight was not in your favor and there's a lot going on, and you were out of the fight for like 4 seconds walking all the way around here. And when that happens, I mean, it's going to be, you're out of the fight, and that's going to make it like what turned like a 4v5 into like a 3v5 for a second. Once again, right here though, back up. Back up a little bit. There's only 3 of you, and there is, what, 5 of them currently? It's not going to go well. And thankfully, your Cloak and Dagger was there to bail you out.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Unfortunate. Regardless, you did die. If you would have backed up, probably wouldn't have died. So just keep that in mind. As well as, let's say, for example, you didn't get hit by the ult right there, the Strange ult. Probably a really good idea is to kind of like walk in front of your Cloak and Dagger right here and take a few of the hits by the Strange, and even risk your life for that Cloak and Dagger to stay alive, because you want your supports to stay alive. I think you have 3 DPS. No, you only have 2 DPS, but still, once again, it's really important to keep your supports alive over yourself. Now, if your supports are way overextended or anything like that, then that's fine, you can leave them to die. But in a situation like this, you can risk your life for your supports. I'll do it a lot of times on DPS where, like, Strange will all body block. I'll 100% body block just so my support will stay alive and I'll die. I'll gladly take the death for my supports to thrive because, I mean, supports are very important. Once again, using all three, you can only throw down 2 at a time. As well as you kind of just threw them down a little bit more random. You can chuck them right over the high ground right here, get them to stick to the tree. Look at this. That means they'll have to like look straight at the tree, which takes off some damage towards you. And that like 1 or 2 seconds that they're looking off you can entirely change the fight. So just keep that in mind.
Here they are, the fools.
A nice deep freeze.
You are fortunate Namor was here.
Nice. Nice. Nice cap.
Control lost.
We got it. Farewell.
Not really a whole lot to talk about right here. Skip a little bit.
Wash our foes away.
Once again, you don't need to focus on that every like second. Focus on someone else. So for example, when he's in that thing, especially in the rank that you're in, they're probably going to stay in it for like the entirety full duration, as well as you should be paying attention to the portal as well. You did hear the portal open up behind you. But once again, in a situation like this, you don't want to just only like hyper focus on the Namor when he's in his bubble. You want to look for something else to do, and then the second his bubble's out, then you finish him off. Because for example, right there, that's like 1.5, 2 seconds that you're just staring at the Namor when you could have maybe gotten 1 or 2 shots off, even 1 shot off right here, and it probably could have killed him faster. And you never know. That could 100% change the fight. Unfortunately, it was nice that you used your thing right there, but you should have tried to, like, as hard as you possibly can, try to take this high ground right here. I know it's going to be a little bit tough. Even if he shoots at you for a second, you don't need to use it, like, right off the bat. You can jump over to the side a little bit and then look for that high ground right over here. You take this high ground right here, it's pretty beneficial, especially since nobody really has taken advantage of that. As well as, wouldn't really recommend using your ult on the Strange, because Strange can block it off. You know the Strange came from behind you as well, even if you didn't know the portal was there. So look behind you, look for any situation that you can get in right over here. You see that the Invisible Woman and Psylocke's there, you ult straight at your feet. You're probably going to kill both of them.
Fear best self.
Adversaries gather.
Glad to help.
And that is it. The shop. So overall, what all do you need to work on? So a little bit of awareness. It's not the worst thing in the world. Kind of playing a little bit more aggressive. As you can see, like this time right here, you actually did get a little bit more value than the first 2 rounds because you're kind of playing up like a little bit more, but you kind of stayed in the same spot like the whole entire time. I would like to see you kind of maybe try to take this high ground right over here, because this high ground right here does work phenomenally well. And the reason why I say it does work phenomenal right here is because, I mean, you're first off close, so you're going to hit a lot more of your shots. And second off, I mean, you can just walk back, you can take easy cover.
Fear best self.
As well as, what else is there to talk about? Aim, squids, 100%. Make sure you're throwing them on walls a little bit more. I would like to see you throw them on walls a lot more. That would be 100% better. Focusing on just... I kind of lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, I think I really said everything. Namor's a pretty simple character. Just focus on your trident or your wraith trident usage as well. Make sure you're trying to hit somebody that you want your squids to target with that. So, for example, one of the supports, you want to hit that. You want to use that quite a bit off cooldown, but you want to make sure your squids are alive when you do use that as well. Preferably, that's what I like to do personally. But yeah, anyway though, I do hope this video helped you out, and I'll see you later.